recording, so we're ready to go.
All right, we will call to order Columbia City Park Board, Monday, March 25th, 2024. We'll start with attendance. Ladies first.
Karen Cody.
Roger Farrell.
Mark Ellis.
Okay, Matt and myself. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes from the last meeting? If there are no objections, I need a motion to approve.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, Matt, it's yours.
Okay. We did make the corrections on the minutes from last month, and we turned those in, so those are good to go. Got down here some new business. It's kind of old, but yet new, is the golf cart ordinance. That is going to be for the first reading. I hope you guys saw that first email that I sent out. And so Rosie will read that. It'll go through 3 readings, and then it's done. The first one, second one, whatever, is for anybody in the public that wants to come in and voice their opinion about it, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And then the third one is the finalized. We do have an ordinance committee. So I don't think it'll go in front of them necessarily, but it's 2 councilmen and the police chief that's on that committee. So with us reading it, then they'll be good. I don't know if Rosie talked to you guys last time about why we were just keeping it, or why she was suggesting to keep it from the SDI bridge to Demone Grimes or Kroger's.
No, but I thought that was the direction we were headed.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
there was a lot of verbiage on there about e-bikes and mopeds and everything else on the rest of the trail. And she suggested that if we keep it the way it is and those things get out of hand, then we can always tell the people, hey, in the ordinance, you can't be on here.
Right.
So that way, if we miss anybody, we don't have to go back and change the ordinance to be able to get them off the trail.
Yeah, and I don't really have a huge problem with e-bikes as long as they're being respectful on speed and maybe a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit posted or something like that.
Yeah.
Because they're small.
They are.
But a golf cart going 15 miles an hour is,
Yeah, that's
it's just a little bit different. It's a lot heavier.
We do have to make provisions on the
Sure.
bridge. I haven't measured it yet, but it's only 4 foot, the opening. And I think a golf cart is like 50 inches.
Which bridge is that?
The SDI bridge, back there by the pond.
It's only 4 feet.
Well, from the Billard to the side.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I
So,
thought that was wider.
so we're gonna have to scoot it over an inch, or
Yeah,
6 inches.
right. So
And
you can
we'll-
still put it up?
Yes, because the objective here
A
is
car
not to
drive
let to
across.
have the cars drive.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you get a golf cart to measure how wide those things are?
We do, but it's with the mechanic right now. And the last time it was 50, but we've got a smaller one. So if you got one that you can measure and let me know.
I was gonna
Well,
say,
I mean,
can-
what's the only
can-
thing that can
I
get
have
through
stop
less
by
than
Vincent Dead.
less than 5.5 feet's a smart car. Everything else is wider than 5.5 feet on automobiles.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I put it 5 feet, you think it'll be fine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I would
I'll
say.
measure mine
Okay.
and let you know.
Yeah, just to make sure, before we crank it out and make it stationary.
And what'd you say a smart car was? 5.5?
No, I don't know, but they're not very wide.
No, they're
Yeah.
not. They're not very
They're not
wide.
hardly
Like
any
Matt,
wider than a golf
Matt
cart.
and I couldn't ride in a smart car, I know that.
No, he made fun of me when I had my Cruise, my personal Chevy Cruise.
That was
He's-
close.
He said it looked like Mr. Incredible getting out of the car. If you guys have ever seen that movie.
No, it's a good
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
So we're okay on that. Is there any other questions?
I'll measure just to see what one is.
Okay, because ours measured 50. I would imagine
Yeah.
they're pretty close to the same, but there
Yeah,
are,
that's-
when they get,
That's just
all
10
the
over
bells and
4.5.
whistles and the
Mhm.
customization.
That's only 4.5 feet. So if you want 5.5 feet, that's
That'd be
I'm
fun.
sure
Oh,
that-
yeah.
That's gonna be plenty,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll keep golf carts from zipping through there real fast too. They'll go real slow across the bridge because of that.
Right,
Yeah.
and then make sure they're
Yeah.
straight through there.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier for us when we go to plow. And it also, the way I look at it too is that the golf carts can be on one side. It still leaves enough room for somebody to walk on the other
Yes,
side.
absolutely. You could almost put a line across all the way the length
Yeah,
of the bridge.
and it may be something that
Yeah,
we
just
end
a
up
solid
doing.
yellow or white or something.
Yeah, and on the SDI plaque, I finally got the right, because that was never put up. I don't know if I ever mentioned that to you guys.
You did,
Years ago.
and I didn't even know we had one.
Yeah, so years ago, they donated that,
Right.
and there was nothing done. I don't know really the cause, but I felt like it was important to fix it.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
So I've got Imperial trophies and plaques out of Fort Wayne that I went to, and I've been trying to get a logo that is something that they can use. It's like it has to be a certain. It's not JPEG. It's got to be
Bitmap or something. Or,
EPS is what they call it. Yeah, and so I went to the career fair a couple weeks ago, and the young lady that I know, she works for SDI, so I asked her, she's in human resources, and she goes, "Oh, absolutely, I can get you that." So she sent that to me. I sent that off. The trophy place was like, "Oh, thank you," and then I'm just waiting for them to actually give me a proof back. But it's gonna be nice. It's simple because SDI didn't want anything,
right.
lavish. They just wanted it simple. But I am coloring it because of their logo being colored.
Mm-hmm. It's red.
So it's red, white, black.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna really pop. It might just say something simple, but it's gonna look good. And it is gonna cost quite a bit, but it's something that that needs to be
it's
done.
money well spent.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have to do that.
No, and I hope that builds a little better relationship.
I was just gonna say thank you for following up on that because they did donate that. They need to be recognized that they donated
Right.
that.
And I know sometimes she was telling me, because I was able to get a hold of the admin assistant there that's been guiding me through this, and she says sometimes they don't want to be recognized for stuff. And I said, well, I understand that, but I feel it's pretty important because I'm sure that steel was not cheap for that bridge. And they had R.L. McCoy come in and do that. And then I don't know what part of it was ours that we did, or if the whole thing was donated because they paved it and they put the concrete wall in and everything else.
What is that length? Is that 20 foot?
The bridge?
Oh, no, it's
Yeah.
longer
Oh
than that.
no,
30,
it's
Probably
it's
50 or
longer.
60.
I'm thinking 60.
That's long. From
Edge to edge.
From piling to piling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Bank
pretty
to
long.
bank,
Yeah.
it's long.
It's long.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
it
very
was.
solid.
Well, that's a big undertaking then for them to donate
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I recall, I'm thinking it was like 260-ish
Oh, I'm not.
cost wise.
And
That
that
would
was
have, if that's what it would have cost.
yeah, and that was 8,
That was gonna say.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
So
So
now it'd be over $1 million.
You're right.
Probably. Okay, so we'll switch gears a little bit, and the baseball, softball sign up went well. I don't know if I told you guys the numbers last time, but we had 521 players sign up for baseball and softball.
It's amazing.
We are pretty much done with teams, and Melinda is working on jerseys, and she's finally getting that all ironed out with colors from sponsors. So that seems to be rolling forward really well.
Do you know what the numbers were last year? I'd have to look back.
No, unfortunately though, that Melinda says it's
Down.
down. Yeah. And that's kind of been the trend, unfortunately. So, and it's a lot to do, I think, with people thinking that travel ball is where it's at. So, we had a couple instances here of late with people thinking they were going to get on travel ball teams, then it didn't pan out the way they wanted, and then they want to be on rec league, but it passed like 3 weeks past our cutoff date, and then they didn't understand why they couldn't get in. We just had another one today that wanted to get in and then got all irate and unfortunately took the new girl and ripped her apart, Emily. But that made me mad enough that I responded. So, but that they just don't understand the time frame, because a lot of people aren't thinking of baseball, softball in January.
Right.
Um,
There's a lot of preparation time.
Right. But the other thing that I told the lady is that, obviously 521 people or parents or however you want to, players got the message because they signed up this year.
Yeah.
So if 20 didn't, then it's probably on them that they didn't see it.
Yeah, and Melinda does a really good job. It is in the schools, it's on social media, the signs are up all over town, and
Yeah, it's on the sign at the park.
yeah, you see 10, 20, 30 people sharing it on Facebook, and it's,
Well, the other thing that I'm going to try to help Melinda with, I haven't talked to her about this yet. The mayor and I was just talking about it when he was down here helping me set this up, was that the city's got that rave now. And I don't know if you guys know what that is or not. It is a system to where you sign up for it, and the police department, the city hall, the parks department, if there's a boil water
Advisory?
advisory,
Yeah, there you
wow,
go.
maybe something else got jarred loose when I fell. They can send that out and it's a mass text. So it's kind of like the Silver Alert.
okay.
That's nice.
It's called Rave.
It's called Rave, yes, and you got to go to gogov.com, I think. They've been putting it out on Facebook, but we have access to that too. So we can use it to send out to those that sign up. Unfortunately, it's only as good as how many people sign up. But I want to go down there and I want to try to get the coaches all to do it, at least, is to get signed up on this Rave, because Andrea and/or Melinda can type a simple message that games are rained out for today, and it's done.
That's right where my mind was going.
They get done. And then what I would really like to do is try to push the parents to do that, because then the parents that have that, we can also put out when sign up is. So there's a lot of good things that we can do from our end. We can do it with the pool. We get close to the capacity, we can send that out again to just the people that have it, and they have to also opt in to the right features as well.
Right.
Oh, whether it's police or parks or whatever.
Yes, yeah, to get notifications
Yeah.
I
for
like it.
Which is
Baseball,
good.
softball.
It's nice that you can itemize, because
Yeah.
some people may not care about the parks.
the
Or they
police.
may not care about whatever. So.
Police started this in January.
That's neat.
They
I like it.
rolled it all out in January. They had the system going, testing it out before then, but they've rolled that out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's neat.
And it's via text?
Yes, they get on the computer, they open up the screen, and they type what they want, and it sends out the notifications all to text messages.
That's really kind of cool.
Yeah. So we have the ability that if someone is lost in town, the police can put out a APB,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
And if there's bridge closings, they can send that out and let you know ahead of time that the bridges are closed. It's kind of a big deal.
Well, it speeds up the communication so
Right.
much, because
Right.
not a lot of people are on Facebook or updating, all night.
But what I'd like to do is I want to get flyers, and the first night of ball, I'd like to walk down, and if I could get all the coaches together, like beforehand, or something, and I can't make it mandatory, but I can heavily suggest that they need to do it. So, and if the parents did it too, then you wouldn't have calls at 12 in the afternoon saying, "Are we playing tonight?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, this is,
So there's advantages to this, and I just think we need to push it and get it out there, and then let it take care of itself.
I think it's a great thing.
So,
excellent.
very, very helpful. Steve Simmons, Simmons. He is part of, he's the relation of Ori and Sharon Simmons. I don't know if you guys, Sharon was transportation director for a long time. They are having a reunion July 6th. Well, he called and wanted to, he's a professional, I guess, gospel Baptist singer, and he's got his own band. He wants to call the churches around here and get like a free concert for July 6th. That happens to be a Saturday, and it happens to be on one of our busiest tournament weekends.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to try to, because parking is going to be terrible. And I know he's probably wanting to set up at the park because he's already there. But I want to try to steer him towards the football field.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right here?
To where he can park his Winnebago or whatever he's got, because he says he's got a camper. He can park it there on the track, and he can use the bleachers.
Oh, the bleachers
They're fine.
is fine to sit on?
Yeah, the
Okay.
south side has had this bad rap. It's fine. We had to put more bolts and stuff in the press box
Oh, okay.
to make it feel better, but it still sways when there's a stiff wind.
Oh, that's
Um,
scary.
Yeah, I mean, by no means is it super safe. I mean, it's safe, but it's not super safe. But he could park and do it on the north side too. Depends on how he wants to drive that around. The only problem that I foresee with any of this is his power requirements. For
Will they have a full
Yes.
band, or is he gonna be doing tracks? You know?
that I don't know either. I haven't asked that. I haven't asked what his power requirements are, if he's wanting to try to set up a small little stage. I don't know what all that entails, because when I found out it was a heavy tournament weekend, I just wanted to say no.
Yeah, he's not gonna find parking down there.
No, we won't be
No.
able to parking.
No, and adding what could be 400 to 500 more.
Well,
people.
that's the thing. Even
Parking is-
25 people
right, right,
will bust
parking
it.
is
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty of parking.
There wouldn't be, even with a full band, there's not huge power requirements.
No, I just
It's
don't
just-
know what because he says he can just set up. Well, I don't
He
know.
may have a generator.
Well,
If
or
he has a motorhome, he does have a generator.
right,
you know.
or he might think that he remembers those camping backboards that we had,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and he could pull all the power he wanted to from that, but we've gotten rid of those.
right.
So I just have to talk that through to him a little
Okay.
bit. Yes, Roger.
Will there be any problem with any construction that we will have going on at that time period, or?
I'm hoping that they're going to do the pickleball courts first. I've asked them to do that because we have football in the fall and we have soccer again in the fall. Right now, it's going to get a little dicey with the soccer players, but I've asked them to do that first, so that is kind of out of the way for when football starts. And another thing we have to do is Chip dropped this off to me, so it's a good segue in. It's a contract for Hunger Games.
Hunger Skate Park?
Hunger Skate Park. We just need to get this signed. I imagine it's Keith that has to sign it, and then we gotta get it back to him. This here, what they told us is they are hoping to start it in December, but it doesn't look like it's not gonna be until 2025, which is January 2025. But we do have a deadline that they need to have it done by. And it's gonna go, I mean, if they have any trouble, it'll go right up to that.
So what if there's weather delays
They're gonna push through it.
for the deadline?
Yeah, they're gonna have to push through it.
Because, we could get tremendous amounts of rain and that would be
Snow.
flooded. You can't,
And cold.
they can't push through that.
Well, the flooding hopefully will be done because they're gonna start grading. If you guys saw the lath over there,
Mhm.
Oh, huh.
they're gonna start grading and
Oh,
putting in the
yeah.
storm sewer.
Oh, they are?
This month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
This
there's-
month. So that
That's-
infrastructure will
that's
be
the way
in.
Yeah,
So hopefully that won't become an issue.
yeah,
Or it may fill up but drain real quick.
sure.
I mean, hopefully. So yeah, we have to get this signed by the end. And, oh, sorry. And then one piece of old business, I know that Old Settlers came in.
Yeah.
Linda Hinman called me and said she appreciated us being so open and talking about it and willing to have it back there. But she brought the guy up, which his name's Gary. He stopped by, he looked at it, said it was too small of an area. And so,
Here?
yeah.
Wow.
So they've
Okay.
made arrangements now with the Shrine Club. So they're gonna be out at Shriners.
Okay. That's a little bit of a commute, but they have the facility for it.
Correct.
They really do, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So we don't have to house them back there. So we won't have those people possibly calling.
Right.
That'd be good.
Yeah. It was one of those things that, I don't know, but you're extending that olive leaf and then you're just glad that it turns out the way it is. So, let's see. Do you guys have anything? I don't know, Karen. Have you heard of anybody that wants to, in the springtime here, come out like clubs or anything and take a look at those balls and?
Yeah, I'm not sure if the art class will do it, but, we'd like to do some of it. But I'll
Okay.
put that out to the school again, to the clubs, and
Okay.
see if any of them are interested.
Because we added some back by the pond,
Oh, okay.
so
We still have the ones that are up by the.
Correct. So we have all the ones at the pavilion,
Mhm.
which are 8, and we just added, I believe, 7 more. No. We probably added 9 more back at the pond by the Triangle Gardens,
Oh,
so people can't pull off into there. And it looks nice. It looks
Yeah.
like it's a definite entrance that you need to go to the trail and can walk. So
I really like the painted balls. They make me smile. when I
They-
run.
they're neat.
Yeah.
they are really cool down there by the splash
Yes.
pad, and we have one there that's not painted.
Oh, okay.
You know.
We'll have to.
Yeah. So, but the lady that came,
Make a fish tank out of it.
the class was
Mhm.
that came down and did it. The 2D art, they were great,
Mhm.
and the one college student that reached out to me, she did a good job. And then I had a husband wife that called me and asked if they could paint one.
Nice.
So they painted one.
I like that.
Involving the community.
And I've got all the,
I
I'm
don't like
storing
that.
the paint. I don't know what's left in there, but I've got the
If they do the
buckets
grading, that
or
will help with the
those things
flooding.
in my room.
And they'll pour concrete in the middle of winter. They
So,
just
yeah,
don't
yeah,
care.
I will reach out and see if,
Okay.
see what people wanna do.
One other group you might wanna look at is, the after-school care. If you run out of people to do the balls,
Okay.
the Y after-school care, that might give the little ones something to do and make
Yeah,
their
I'm
own
not sure.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what
Be
they look like. but-
interesting.
Toddlers running around with paint. Oh,
Yeah, I
know. There's some problems there.
I won't be
Maybe
there
more than
watching
paint-
them.
maybe
Yeah.
More paint hunt everywhere else.
You can always blame Keith. you know.
Yeah. I could just say, hey, Keith told me to come over and ask you guys.
25th.
Is it your stomach or mine?
Not mine.
I think it's Rogers.
It's mine.
It's a heck of a signature there by the contractor.
Mhm.
Okay.
right. Well, that's
So you got?
everything I got. It wasn't huge, and I know coming into summer, people are going to have things to do, and I know that we have to have a quorum to be able to hold a meeting. So I know that got softball on Tuesday nights
Mondays.
or Mondays.
So I guess that's a question. Since that's on Facebook Live, is there a way that if we can't be present, that we can at least video in?
Probably to
Um,
watch only though.
yeah, I don't think you can video in. I think because that's watch only.
Right.
We could have you on phone on a
Sure.
speakerphone,
Right.
and just have you there. I mean, we've got a speaker system over here that we can figure out that the Community Foundation left.
But don't have your Facebook feed going
Yeah.
at the same time, because it'll problems.
Yeah,
So is this the parks Facebook feed? And we're
it's the
going live?
cities.
The cities?
Yeah, it is the cities, and
Tell my mom about this.
yeah, there you go. So how this works is that we have this software here for the media, but we connect that through Facebook Live.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a dummy account for the city, and then it hooks to City Hall once and then you can, it posts, like it's already posted that the City Board of Works and Council will be tomorrow. So when you bring up the page, it says that. Well, here in another week, I'll put up that our new one is going to be April 22nd, and it'll just sit there. People can see it, and then if they want to watch, then they can. But this will get uploaded to YouTube, and anyone can see that. So,
Archived.
uh-huh. Same way with any of the city council and
I say I've
Board of
watched
Works.
some city council meetings on Facebook, just
Yep.
because it gives me the push notification.
Yep.
And
you can see all those on YouTube as well.
Mhm.
Terry uploads them. So, and the only reason we still have to have minutes is so that it's recorded and put in a paper box. So. I don't
Is
know.
that it?
Don't know if you guys have anything or any more
I don't have
questions.
anything else.
Need a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
I
Second?
second.
We
Or,